The first time that I installed these fog lamps, I built this bracket and it was real intricate and it was really nice. But the problem is I have this gap here. You see this gap? And I don't really like it. And then I started looking at pictures of other cars with fog lamps, and usually the fog lamp is a little pushed out, maybe to about right here. And that's kind of what I want to do now. So I wanted to see, mainly for knowledge and for future references, on an easier way to install these fog lights, close the gap, and still have the same balance that it has. Because when these fog lights are on, they're really bright and they do shine really nice where they're supposed to. So I wanted to keep that, and that was probably the purpose why I built the bracket. But it was a little overkill, and I'm trying to do something a little easier. So we'll see. All right, and once again, guys, thanks for watching. All right, so one of the lens right here fell. And remember, these are kind of cheap fog lights. I mean, I don't really expect a lot for them. What I'll do is I'll probably glue them in there, put a little bit of silicone, a little glue, and they should be fine. And once again, these are like $30 fog lamps. I'll leave the link in the description. They're really good, but once again, you know, they're not $100 fog lights. So I mean, and they've been here for a while. There's nothing wrong. It's not cracked or anything. I think it's just whatever was holding the little glue. Yeah, I see, you could tell the glue that was there before, or whatever they put on there didn't really hold that well. So I'll go ahead and put some glue in there right now, and they'll never come off again. But this is what I was talking about, how when I built this bracket here, hold on, I'll show you. I remember, it's always important to put a blanket. Don't scratch your bumper. So you see how I built this contraption. Looks kind of robotic, but it was a little too much, and I'm trying to figure out a way to build it to where it's not so bulky, and then that way the fog light scoots in. It does have an adjuster right here. I don't know how much adjustment that really does work. I think that's the adjustment. I don't remember, but we're gonna go ahead and take it off. I want to see if I can do it a little easier. That was the other reason why I was doing that. And like I said, I did a really nice job in that sense. And maybe there's nothing wrong with the bracket. Maybe it's just my spacers, because if you look, I put spacers on there, and maybe the spacers just need to be shortened down. But like I said, I just, I was trying to make sure that it was a really nice design, but maybe it's a little overkill, but we'll see. Let's look at it. All right, so I believe this is one of my screws right here. And this was the other one, because there's two. You see all the spacers that fell out? There was a lot of spacers. And then there should be another one. Yeah, it's like a bolt here on this side that I did. I'm not really sure if it's a 10 or 8. Oh, it's a 10. So I did a 10. Take this extension off, but it's right here. Just be careful when you're messing with your bumper, because remember, it's plastic. You don't want to break it. See that? All right, and that's what I'm talking about. So the way that I mounted it, you see how it's all set up through that. Now this just broke right now. It wasn't like that, but like I said, these are kind of cheap fog lamps. I don't expect them to last forever, and that's pretty much how they go right there. This is, I give them a 2-year lifespan if anything, and then this is something I would say normal that's gonna happen. But everything else looks all right though, even the tabs on the light. This looks a little worn out too, but it's okay. So my idea was, how can I make this I guess flush, more flush than it was. That's kind of what I was trying to do, without having to compromise the fog light. And as you can see, you only have a couple tabs to mess with, so it's not like you have a lot to install this with, and that's what we got to figure out. All right, so got to take them off, that way I could test it. Now I might have to go to the hardware store and pick up some new brackets, which is fine. I'll do that, and while I'm there, I'll pick up the brackets and the bolts for my 55 visor. So it kind of works together, I guess. Not a bad deal. Alright, so that's the bolt that I used. I don't want to throw all this out either, because I got to figure out if I'm going to be able to mount them without any issues. But as you can see, it's my bracket here was pretty intricate, maybe a little overkill. So there you go, as you can see. Alright, so I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue to fix this light. And I know some people are going to be like, that's not the right glue. Alright, whatever. Well, you could use Gorilla Glue if you want. I would suggest using maybe a silicone. But they also have a plastic weld. You can buy it on Amazon. It's incredible for plastic. I use it at work for a lot of stuff. But I'm telling you right now, man, that stuff right there is definitely top notch. I don't have any on me, or else I'd use it. But it's okay. Like I said, now that I know that, you know, obviously the durability of these lights, it's not bad. You know, I've had them on for a while, so I'm not mad about it or unpleased. I didn't pay a lot for them either, so it's not like you got screwed. So I don't feel like I got screwed. They're cheap lights. Just think about it that way. So you want nice lights, they're gonna cost you $100 easy. So just keep that in mind. You know, whenever you start going off on quality of stuff, you know, you pay for what you get, and that's a fact. So you want better lights. I guess I should have bought the real nice $100 ones. These are just fine. They'll be just fine after I glue the crap out of them. And I guarantee you, if you didn't know that I did all this, you wouldn't even know. So for those who are gripping their teeth or whatever, calm down. Be all right. There you go. Put some here. This Gorilla Glue is crazy, man. Just be careful. Will it seal it? I don't know. It's pretty hard stuff, man. I'll tell you that right now. I'm gonna put some here because oh no, I got it on me. Jeez. See it. There you go. Look at that. Oh, that's a nice load. Yep. Uh-oh. Now remember, kids, this is probably not the best way to do this. But like I said, these are cheap lights. They weren't that much. This should seal. I think this should seal. Alright, there you go. You see that? Put some here. Put some here. And then we'll go ahead and close it up. I don't want to touch the inside of the lens because that's where I don't want to get any glue in. There you go. Alright. Now, once you do that, let me clean my hands. And then I'm going to put some tape on it. Because that Gorilla Glue tends to expand, obviously. I can clean this glue off of me too. Super sticky. Now it tends to expand, so I don't want it to obviously pop the lens once it expands. So let me clean my hands. Get some napkins. Alright guys, sorry that my garage is dirty, man. We've been doing a lot of projects and so it's real messy. Anyways, so yeah, here it is. Tape. Alright, so take some tape right here. Okay. Now, while this one is, I guess you could say, curing from the tape, from the glue, we will take off the other one. and that way we can examine with the other one, since this one's going to be no bueno. All right, so that's good to go. So now let's go ahead and take off the other one, and that's the one we're going to examine with. All right, got to take this one off. Spacers fall out, you saw that? Yep. All right. That. Then we have the one bolt that I have right there. Right here. I think it's a 10 though, so it's okay. We'll do this one here. All right, now since it's right here, see that? All right, and that's probably it right there. All right, so now once again, that's the other fog lamp, and there's my bracket. So it's a good idea, but I think it's overkill, like I said. Let me see if I can do this a little easier. All right, so let's take this bracket off, and then we'll test it out. All right, welcome back to the channel. All right, so the last video I had already taken off the fog lights. I had already glued this one up, and as you can see, the glue is nice and dry. It has already set. I let it dry for a couple hours after I placed the glue on there, and there it is. Now all you get is a bunch of this little residue, which is really not that hard to take off. You just gotta scrape it off little by little. This Gorilla Glue should hold just as good as any other glue, but I should have used the I guess the plexiglass glue. That would be probably the best one. It's a I guess plastic weld. Excellent stuff, really strong, dries instantly. But I didn't have any, and it's all good. I'm not really worried about it. Once we get all this stuff off, it'll look fine and it'll hold. Now remember, the problem that I'm having is, you know, I'm trying to create brackets that are a little easier to mess with, so it doesn't, I guess if you're doing this at home, you don't have to get too creative and build something crazy like this. Maybe something that you could just cut really fast, even little brackets that we can mount. The problem is the SC isn't like the 07 or 08 element or the older elements where it has 4 bolts. This one has a staggered bolt that's low, this one's high, and then it has a bracket. Fog lights mount right here. And as you can see, remember on this one, I have to carve out a little more on one side. So that's kind of what we're going to do right now. The issue is how to mount them with the least hardware, or I guess you could say crap that you have to mount. So this one, it kind of goes in, but it doesn't. So it's almost like it needs a little cutting here. See that right there? Be careful not to cut yourself. So these are just a prep work before we get in and start messing with stuff. So just got to make sure that this one can go in. That's what I'm doing right now. But I don't want to cut too much either. You got to be careful. I don't want a huge gaping hole. All right, there it is. See? So I want them to be flat like that, so this line can match with that line. So that's what we're going to do. As you can see right here, it almost seems like you could almost put a screw in if you had a clip right here, or some kind of clip that you could just screw on. You could always twist this, turn it around, and make it work this way. So that right there could be an easy problem solved if I could just find something that I could insert right here. Maybe a bolt, a bracket, I don't know. But once I got that covered, then maybe I could just put a little bracket from here to here, and maybe one from here to here, and then that would kind of solve the whole situation of having to put a lot of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go to the hardware store, and I'm going to try to find something that I could even insert here. I'm still not sure. And maybe just some L brackets or a flat bar, and just bend it to where I need. I feel like if you do that though, you might have like wiggle, and that's another thing I didn't want. So that was kind of where I'm trying to figure it out. So maybe if I had one here and maybe like an H bracket, I don't know, something that was up going this way and then down, then you won't have to really do, I guess you really won't have to worry about the wiggle, because then you'd have a bracket from here to here, plus you have this bolt, and it should be pretty solid, and you might not even have to use these. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Or even maybe an L bracket where you can mount it here and have the 2 bolts go down here. Like I said, I want to figure it out so anybody else that's dealing with this won't have to, and it'll be just easy for somebody to install them. I mean, it'll just be like, get it in, get it out, and you're done. So let's try for that. And once again, guys, thanks for coming back and tuning into the channel. On the last video, remember, we fixed the reservoir. That's already been taken care of. So now I just need to do this, but I also want to do it for future references, just to see if I can make it easier to install these fog lights. All right, so let's check it out, and then we'll see if we can do this. All right, there it is. So that's the other one. And we'll have to see how this adjustment goes too. All right, so ideally it should go in like that, I guess. And then I don't know how it's gonna look from this side. See how it sticks out a lot? That's what you don't want. I don't want it to stick out too much either. I think it should be something like that. I think when it sticks out, it looks weird. It should be kind of like that. So that was the issue that I was having the first time. So that's kind of where you see how nothing aligns, mainly because these are aftermarket and they're kind of shanky. So I don't really expect them to be perfect. So that's kind of where I got to figure out what to do. And that's what we're going to work on right now. All right, guys. So I had to basically set up something different. So what I did is I made kind of like a template, I guess. And what it's going to do, it's actually going to be a flat piece of metal. So it should look pretty good. Plus it'll function. This will actually bend. I checked online to some of the brackets that are available, and this is kind of the design that I noticed that a lot of people were doing. So then basically this plate will sit there, and it'll kind of, I guess, make like a platform. Then the fog light will basically go on top like that, and it'll get screwed on or bolted down with some spacers. And that's kind of what this is. So basically it'll be fog light with spacers, and it should be like perfect. So it should give me the actual spacing that I need, and it'll be nice and solid so that it doesn't bounce around. It's still going to be held on by this bolt and by the 2 screws, and then this will be held on by skinnier screws. Once it's attached on there, then just grab it in, put it in, bolt, 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 and that's it. Now I am going to be using a jigsaw to cut this template out, but the way I see it is once you have this template, I mean, you'll be able to kind of move it around, and you know, if you make the holes a little bigger, it'll probably work. It'll definitely work, but my idea was to just make something easy that you could even 3D print, cut out of plastic, wood. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to do it out of wood, but I mean, if you're just trying to get something in and out quick, I would probably use the ABS plastic that they sell on Amazon. They have like 1/4-inch sheets, 1/2-inch sheets. That could work too. I'm going to use a piece of aluminum just because it's kind of what's available. I can't get a ABS right now. I'd have to order it from Amazon, and I wanted to get this done ASAP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these out. Remember, this is left side, right side, because you're going to have one for this side, because not both of the holes are not the same, I don't think. So let me see. Let's take this one here, and this hole aligns to that one. And then if we align this one here, well, I guess it's the same. Yeah, it looks the same. Maybe there isn't. I just got to make sure that I have 2 and the holes are equally. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go ahead and cut it. All right. So now that we have our template, this basically is a starboard. It's a aluminum with plastic. They use it for signs. Really good stuff. Hard stuff. And it's thick enough to where it should hold. Plus, it's very resilient in the heat. So we should be able to get a good cut out of this with the jigsaw with no problem. Alrighty. So now that we have the material, we're going to go ahead and mark it down. Like I said, I've already cut my template. I believe it'll work. I'm sure there's a lot of different ways of doing this. I'm just trying to find an easier solution because, like I said, I have another SC that I'm going to be doing some fog lights to. And I was trying to find something that'll be a lot easier to do when it comes time to do fog lights. I do not know if this will work, like I said, on any other models, because I don't know what I don't remember what the bumper, the back of the bumper looks like. So right now, I'm only doing it for the SC because I do believe that it'll work. So we're gonna do that. That's one template. That's what it looks like, a toilet seat. So it's good. Let's hopefully it won't become a big pile of poop. All right, y'all ready? Let's turn off the fan. We'll connect this one and let's see how this works. It's been a while since I cut this material. I think it should work. All right, let's go. This material is usually pretty good for cutting letters and signs. That's what we used to use it for, or I'm sure they still use it to this day. Ready? Very nice. Ooh. Uh-oh. All right. Let's see. Go from here. Just go straight out. And then you got to be careful when you start cutting the little details. But that's what we'll do right now. No big deal. Remember, be safe whenever you're messing with these tools. Let them cut fingers off. Don't want to cut any fingers off. Very nice. Now, as you can see, it's a little lopsided. Once again, this is just a my first of many designs for this build. It keeps going in and out, and I don't have the room for it. So plastic broke. Maybe I should have done it the other way. Jeez, I don't know. Too late now. Yeah, as you can see, it has aluminum on the top and aluminum on the bottom. I think I should have heated it. I think that's the way I should have done it. If I would have heated, I think I would have got a better result. I'm gonna cut it again, and then we'll start again. No worries. That's just how it is sometimes. All right, here's the second try. All right, so that's one. Alright. So that's what it looks like right now. I don't know if I should, I guess I should cut that, call it a day. I'm gonna have to drill it. Let's see. Gonna need a drill bit real quick. Use this one real quick. And I should have a drill here somewhere. Let me find it. Yep. I think this one's dead. Yeah, it's dead. I have another one somewhere. Let me go find it. Alright, so this one already had a bit ready to go. I'm just going to push through with this. Alright, now this hole here, I want it to be big. So I'll have some adjustment on there. I'm going to go ahead and drill this one out. See that? Alright, I don't mind that one. And then these, the heck? There you go. Alright, let's do these real quick. Right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the middle one now. Alright, well, that's kind of my intentions. It's not bad. And then it goes in like that. Fog lights should fall in. And if it doesn't, then I need to make it a little bigger. You see that? It's still not in. So I need to open this up a little, which is no big deal. It's all good. Let's do that real quick because we need a good fitment on the fog lamp. Just gotta go slow. There you go. Let's try that. Maybe just take it over there. Alright, so right now, one side right here, it's just a little low. In here. Oh, alright, now, as you can see, it looks pretty good. This thing has like a film, I think. Yeah, there it goes. That's what it looks like. It's just a whiteboard. It's pretty cool. Works really good. Just going like that. But there you go. As you can see, it will have spacers though, remember. So I want to put these spacers right here like that. So once these spacers are on it like that, then I should have the right height. Now the issue right now is going to be heating this up so I can turn it. Hopefully it doesn't bend like it just did. So we're going to go ahead and try it. All right. All right, so I'm going to trace out the other one and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Yeah. Now remember, if you have a easier and faster way of doing this, don't just say that you have an easier or faster way of doing this. Show us. Put a link. Don't go in there trash talking without backup. Put something online of my comments. Doesn't matter. But we're all learning here. So go ahead and drop a link if you know how to do it better, or you've seen somebody do it better. Don't just come in here whining that there's an easier way to do it. Alright. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and cut these out, and then we'll go from there. So this one here I'm using as my template board, and then I'm gonna draw a line just like that, and then I'm gonna draw another line on top just to make sure that it's straight. You see that? Now the reason I'm doing that is, okay, I'm gonna make a couple more. Like I said, I'll be doing another element pretty soon, so I want to make sure that I have my bases covered. See that? Alrighty. Now, from what I learned from the other cut that I made, is that my design was a little too small, so I got to make it a little bigger. Alright, got some watermelon. Hole here, hole there, there's a hole here and here, and then we'll make one more. Alrighty. There you go. That's your hole. Hole. We should be good to go. Alright. Alrighty. One. Alrighty. right. Test it out real quick. This is the bottom. Perfect. Look at that. It's excellent. All right. So, do the next ones. Let's go. Alrighty. Right on the money. Oh no. Last one. It's always the last one. Alright, well, do the sides real quick. Perfect. All right, so these two are the ones I need for next week. Go ahead and take some of this stuff off. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and heat it up. See if it works. Use this. Oh, but let me get some gloves on because it's gonna get hot. Hold on. It's gonna get extremely hot. All right, here we go. All right, so very good. Well, I can feel it. It's definitely getting hot already. Yep, real heat melts that plastic. It'll give you the form that you want. Plus the aluminum bends with the plastic, so I don't really mind. See that? But I definitely want this to be flat. All right, let's try it out. You see how it bent? Pretty cool. All right, so hopefully it works. It looks like it'll work. Maybe a little more. You see how it still has a little room to bend? Let's do that real quick. All right, let's try it out. Drilling it is not a big deal. Plus it'll get hard again, and it'll be strong. Yep, it looks pretty good. I think the holes align really nice. I could still drill it, heat it up a little more. You see that? Has a little more room to heat. I'll use this other flat bar now. I think I should be able to get what I want. But it does look pretty good. Now, this definitely obviously saved it from breaking, so that's a good thing. I do think that's good though. Let me get this one back on there to get my angle right, because I do want it to be flat. Alright, well, it looks pretty good. Now, I'll take the drill bit, and since it is plastic, and now if this works, I'll have one pretty much ready to go, and that's a good thing. What the heck? There you go. Okay. Like I said, I'm not worried about the way it looks, because it should work fine. All right. So now this should go here, just like that. And if we have to, I can bend this back a little bit. See that? There you go. All right. My holes are pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that actually. So we're gonna go with that. Now, once we get this mounted, the idea is that I have short screws that are gonna go here, just like that. See that? So I'll have these short screws right here. I know these are long right now, but it's okay. Just trying to show what I'm trying to do. And there's a hole here, and they both align. So then this right here will go here, just like that. And it'll have, you know, the spacers that it needs. So the next question is, are these bolts right here big enough? So there should be my little bracket. It's right here. And I know that if I put it on this side, I guess you could say that this is not really doing much, but in a way, I guess it's good. Let's see, hold on. There you go. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So if we put this here, I know that it's not threading onto the bracket that I just built, but it should hold it in place for now. And that's not a bad thing. And then also we're looking at how much of this plastic, you see this? So it's going through, so it will hold it, and that's probably a good thing. Now it doesn't move. And now the other thing is, will this bolt interfere with my fog lamp? See this? So when the fog lamp goes in there, nope, it's pretty good. I think it's going to be awesome. And it'll give me the depth that I want, and it's an easier bracket. You see that? So I think it should be good. All right, we're going to go ahead and build the other one just like that. And it's perfect, man. It'll be good. All right, so these are the screws that I bought. All right. Now, the good thing about this is that I bought different sizes because I wasn't sure what I was going to need. So this one, see how that fits? It should fit there. And if I'm not mistaken, it should go in with no problem. Yeah, you see that? And it's still not too deep. All right, so that's tight. Then we need a small one, which would be something like this. That will go on this side. And if it's smaller, I think I should have enough room right there. See that? And it's perfect. Okay, so this is good. Now what I'm saying is, see how you have these spacers, and the spacers are basically just going to sit right there, just like that. Yep. See that? Boom. Now because this material is pretty good to work with, if I wanted to, I could just put some threaded screws into this material, and this thing, I don't care what you do to it, it's not going anywhere. We used to use it to make big commercial signs, and it's super strong. And there's signs that I made when I was working for this one company that are still up now, and they haven't had any issues. But that's perfect. You see that? I'm going to try to mount this one in. We'll flip it over and let's see what it looks like. All right, so these are deck screws. I probably wouldn't recommend using these, but then again, I don't know if that'd be a bad thing. I would probably just use some bolts with a little nut on the other side. But as you can see, as long as you don't push these more than they should, it should be fine. But I would definitely change them and put some nails on. But I'm dying to see what it's gonna look like. See how they go in real easily. It's the material. A real hard material too. Don't think that it breaks easy. It doesn't. It really takes a beating. All right, so right there. See, there you go. That right there feels pretty smooth, and hopefully it'll look good. Let's see what it looks like, All right, so I'm gonna flip it over now, and let's see if I have the look. Now, if this bracket does work, then really it's not a bad deal, because it's pretty easy to make. And I'm pretty sure you could probably make it out of plastic, or even I don't know, metal. Metal would have been probably easier. It's just got to paint it so it won't rust out. So this is what it would look like. Oh, look at that. It's pretty sturdy. And this is what it's going to look like, the fog light. See, there's a difference. Oh yeah, big difference. You see that? The gap's not that big, and it's pretty much even. I like the way that looks. So that's more of the look that I wanted. You see that? It's sticking out more instead of inside. So I have these two brackets here. If anybody wants them, you're in the Houston area, if I still have them, you could have them, honestly. They're good. Took me a long time to make them. They were like prototypes, you know. So anyways, so that one's good, and let me make the other one, and then that way I can finish up. It's freaking hot, but that means my theory does work. So if you wanted to CNC something like that, I bet you could. Just saying, not a bad deal. All right, let me do the other one, and then we can get going. Now remember, I like experimenting on my car. I don't mind. But of course, you know, this is why I'm always changing things, just because I always like to see if there's a better way. I guess you could say sometimes I can't sleep at night thinking about stuff like this. And then once I get a better idea, you know, I think that I'm first at finding these ideas, but then I look online and there's companies selling stuff like this for other vehicles. So I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. You know, I think the problem is, you know, the Element is, it's got a big following, but you know, I guess I've talked to people that I guess they don't believe the Element is that special, but if you're an Element person, you know that it is. So you know what I'm saying. Now on the other side, what I did is I put the bolt going in from the outside, but I wanted to test the theory that if it would work from the opposite end. And I think the reason why I wouldn't, it's because this plate is too low, and I think that's why. And I thought about that too, so I was like, all right, well, let's flip it, and that's why I did it this way. And I understand, once again, you could put a bolt that'll hold right past through that. I don't think it'll be a big deal, but with the way it is right now, this is actually pretty good. It works. And I'm pretty sure I can tighten it up once the fog light is in there. Yeah, see the, hold on, let me get my tent. All right, there you go. See, like this one now, since it's already in there, swap it. See that? And then I can just tighten it. I want to test it, but I'll leave it like that. I think it'll be good. And if I have to, I can put a bolt. But that was kind of the whole idea, is will it work? And I bet you if actually, you know what, you know, think about it, maybe we could do it. Hold on, let's try it. Yeah, there it is, ready to go. All right, it's time to put this baby back together. That's it right there. One mistake that I made when I did install these is that I should have gave myself a little more slack on the wires, which I didn't. So don't make that mistake. Give yourself some room. So then we'll drive this thing up. There you go. Now, it did have one clip here. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go ahead and put one of these just to hold that right there. Then right here, take it easy on this. Don't be in a rush. You know what I mean? Slow. There you go. Just start pushing it in. It'll go in slowly. Remember, it's got these little teeth right there. Alright. Go. Remember, take your time. We're not in a race. We're not in a hurry. Take it easy, and everything will be fine. All right, now that's it. This is a pretty on and off deal. It shouldn't take that long. Okay. Now these clips are gonna start looking bad sooner or later once you start taking this thing off more than once or twice. I would always say keep some clips in stock. I always do. I have a whole bunch of them. And the reason I do is because you never know when you'll need them. And if you think I'm joking with you, check it out. I always keep a box of trinkets, plugs, wires, rivets, but I have all the factory clips. When I go to the junkyard, I take them off. So just keep that in mind. It's always good to have them. But as you can see, you see how now the fog lights look sunken in? They're very nice. I like it. Very easy. And once again, I like doing things just to see if I can improve them and get them better sometimes. So that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and put the bottom mounts, and then we'll be finished up. Alright, so remember we have the tins that we need to go in. And then we have those screws. And then we have some clips. So the tins, remember, they go right here. And you'll feel them. If your bumper is aligned perfectly, you'll see how they go in. You won't need anything. They're perfect. See what I mean? Same thing with this one here. If it's aligned, I promise you it'll go in. And if not, you could always move it around and you'll feel it. There you go. Beautiful. That's it. So those two are in. So now we need the other two. Oh no, I have lost them. I have the clips. Oh, there they are. All right. So right here, remember I was telling you, you have clips. You have one here, and you'll see the little hole. It also goes into, it's kind of like metal. All right, so I'm gonna put these back in there. There you go. All right, so once you want to put these in there, there you go. Nice. All right. Wow. Now I could probably do this for days, but it's hot right now. That's it. Perfect. And once again, like I said, you see that? Man, it's perfect. Love it. It looks cleaner now. Big difference from before. You know, before my light was sunken in and you could see the gap. So now it's all solid, it's smooth. It's just like bumper to light. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So this is it for this project. My windshield wiper fluid front and back work, and I wanted to fix this, and I wanted to tackle those two things down. Make sure to check out the online store, buy one of my t-shirts, help me grow my channel. Like I said, right now we're trying to figure out if we should expand to a maybe like a 1,500 square foot shop, something small, and we're going to start expanding from there. And like I said, I want to work on our elements in general, and then want to start building these trucks. So I have the 50 Chevy truck t-shirts, and I have the Honda Element t-shirts. So right now that the Christmas season is coming, also we'll be doing the Christmas photo shoots with the 50s trucks. You'll see that coming on. But make sure to subscribe, hit the like, notification bell. And like I said, I always like people's comments, theories, opinions. I don't mind. Just because I always like to know what people are thinking or doing. Your opinion will probably not change my mind on certain things, but I always like listening. So, like I said, guys, thanks for watching. And make sure to hit that subscribe. Be cool out there. Stay in your element and take it easy out there.